Good morning, coaches. Well, it's morning my time anyway. Early in the morning in Wellington, not a great day as you can see, but hopefully you'll learn a lot from this module. It's about the breakdown, what happens at the tackle. And quite frankly, we should avoid breakdowns if possible. And if we do have them, we need quick balls so we can score tries and win rugby games. So that's what this module's about. And I think we need to work from little kids, say 6, 7. Do they play at that age in England, France, Kenya? I'm not sure, but they do in New Zealand, from 6 to 7 up to 36. And so we'll just progress those modules as we go, those drills as we go. I think the big thing, though, is that we've got to get our young kids to learn how to fix players, fix defenders, stop them so that we can beat them, and then we'll have good breakdown play. The other thing I think would be helpful, if we had a ball, it would be helpful. I haven't got a ball, but just pretend I've got a ball. You need to hold the ball in 2 hands as much as possible. And if you can hold the ball in 2 hands, that will help you fix the opposition and beat that defender, maybe not totally, and that'll improve your breakdown play. Okay, so I've got a ball here, all right? So holding the ball, once you do that, that means to the defender, I'm having a crack. I can't pass it, can I? I probably can't kick it from there, so I'm really having a crack at you. But when I've got it in 2 hands, he's not sure. So you've got a chance. And I think that's important. Okay? So we'll get started, shall we? So what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to go into the breakdown skill. And the breakdown skill to me is we try and avoid it. So the less breakdowns we have, meaning the less tackles we have in the game, the better we're going to play. So if we can keep the ball alive, that's bloody good. But there is a thing called a ruck and this thing called a maul as well, and we need to address all of those things. So what we're going to do initially is do the first requirement for the maul. So we're going to progress the maul. So I want 2 guys in the middle, one with the ball and one without the ball. All right, just give them a wee bit of space. All right, and I want you to go around the cone and want the ball carrier to hit and turn to set a maul. Just have a look at it. Go. Good stuff. Let's do it again. Do you get me tripping over the cones? Beautiful. Can you keep that in? We might need a wee bit more space. So we'll just go back a wee bit. Are you comfortable? Okay. So we're in the middle. Go around the cone. So you go turn and round the cone. Go. Good. We're setting the first progression of developing that maul. So I want you to go get a cone each and go into this area and do that. Each have 2 or 3 turns at that. Good. Just keep a bit lower. Push that arse out. Good. Good stuff. Good. 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 Now what I want you to do is do the same thing, but this time I want you to carry the ball in 2 hands. I want you to fix the defender and try and beat him on the weak shoulder. Good. We're trying to fix that defender and evade him. If you're the ball carrier, what do you need to do? Speed, hugely important. So the faster you can run, hit those turbos, the better you're going to be. If you're running half pace, you're not going to do the business, are you? So speed, bloody good. Second thing we're looking for?
Ball in 2 hands.
Ball in 2 hands. I noticed 1 or 2 of you were tucking. You need to keep the ball in 2 hands. That'll fix the defender. It'll keep him guessing. I just want one other point. Hopefully we can get it.
Squares up.
Run straight. Run straight. Run quick. Ball in 2 hands. Okay? So if you run straight, what does that mean to the defender?
Defender will commit to you.
Yeah, he has to commit to you. He squares up, gives you both sides to work on, doesn't it? So you can beat them right, you can beat them left. So let's do it again. So by doing that, what does that give the ball carrier? Options. What else does it do for the ball carrier? It draws them, but you get past that first defender, don't you? So you're on a weak shoulder, you're explosive, you're quick, all right, two hands, you're hitting a weak shoulder, you're getting past that defender, and that will give us quick ball. So we'll develop those two drills as we go along. So we're driving in and setting up that maul, two hands, hitting a weak shoulder, and getting past the defender. So we'll develop those two things. Coaches, now we're going to go to another progression, a bit more difficult, groups of 4. So we're just trying to make sure we keep the ball alive. We don't want to go into that breakdown if necessary. The first group of 4, we're trying to keep that ball alive. So really it's just a matter of trying to draw that defender and pass the ball. The second one, we're going to hit and spin and rip and keep it alive again. And the third one, we're going to beat that defender. Maybe you have to go to ground, keep the ball alive if possible, or clean out, just react to what we see. All right, draw and pass, and then we'll do the rip. When we're doing the rip, the third guy needs to be in there tight, so he can rip and pass, okay? And just react to what you see on the third one. We were beating the defender. Maybe you ought to keep the ball alive on that tackle. Maybe you ought to pass it. Maybe he needs to clean out, whatever, okay? Go! I think it's important, coaches, that we don't overemphasise the breakdown. We're trying to avoid it. So all the coaching should be to try and enhance those skills of keeping the ball alive. So draw and pass. There's a lot of tries scored by tight forwards these days where one forward actually passes to a second forward. Unbelievable, really, isn't it? But that does happen, and that creates tries. So let's be positive and use the ball. So these are some progressions that we can use. And the first one is that draw and pass. The second one really is to set up a maul, and there's probably a lost art in the game these days. And we can have a maul from in the field of play. And I think one of the things that might win the Rugby World Cup in 2011 at Eden Park in the final on sometime in October, 23rd, is the ability to set up mauls in the field of play. So this is a little exercise will assist in that. Try and get that explosive step in and rip round. Good. Guys, it's pretty good. But I think you really need a very clear mindset when you're the ball carrier. Now, all you guys want to be All Blacks, right? We've all got that in common. And so your mindset as a ball carrier is critical. And at the moment, I think we're a bit passive. And it may be because we don't want to hurt each other in these drills. But the ball carrier needs to have a mindset, I'm going to fix that defender and beat him. And in the hit and spin, really explosive deck, get it round, and that's a different drill on top of that. But ball carrier mindset, beat that defender, skin him. So set him up, step him, and keep the ball alive if you can, or pop it off. And at the moment, we're doing what we see every week, don't we? We're driving into that guy, we're placing the ball, and we're carrying on. I want more than that from you. Fair enough? You with me? Okay, so everybody do the last one. That is, we're trying to fix that defender, step him, and keep the ball alive if possible on a pass, or when you're going to ground, just pop it to the support player. If it's not on, place. Okay, let's do that. Good. Good ball carrier, good mindset. Go. Good. Sonny Bill Williams there, I see. Let's go. Good. Oh, that was really good. I think the mindset was superb. Maybe the defender was assisting a little bit. But the mindset of the ball carrier was very good. So you really wanted to make sure that you were really positive and kept the ball alive as possible. The guy off the ball, all right? So we just have 3 guys in here. You're on the ball, and the fourth guy off the ball. So we got one who's a tackler, all right? Just come with me. We're going that way. You're the tackler on this fellow, all right? All right. You just go to ground, you two. You're going to clean that fellow out, that tackler. This fellow here, hang on. He's obviously very intelligent, this man, and he wants to go quick. His position is great initially, all right, because he's going to attract another defender out here, and we don't want him in here, correct? So if you can get some width, that's good, but as soon as that happens, he's got to big step in here and get to the ball. So violent step in so he can keep the continuity. So I think, coaches, it's important that we keep our width, but our support player understands that he might need to get back in there and do the business. So violent step in and make sure he keeps continuity of possession. So we'll just do it again, mainly for number 4, all right? He might have to react and do the business there. So his position was good, then he has to react. So we do it again. Make sure we got the width on that 4th guy. Go. Good. Good. All right. We don't need to do that every time, but that's good. Go. Good boy. Well done. Good. Coaches, I hope you saw the difference there. So we need to maintain our width as long as possible. Also, I think the guy who's cleaning has got to make a good decision. Sometimes he doesn't need to clean. That tackler's on the ground and he can play as halfback. And that means he's going to get quicker pill and score more tries. So the decision to clean or pass is pretty crucial whether you're going to score tries or not. So these guys are pretty skillful and they make pretty good decisions. But you watch the game in your area and you'll find a lot of players will just go to that breakdown, put their heads in there when they don't have to. They can be the ball distributor, they can be catching and passing, they can be scoring tries. So that's important. So good luck with that. So we're going to go to the mall now and we're going to have increase the group from 4 to 6 and we're going to set up the mall in the field of play. So I think you just need to look at it and then we'll come back and discuss the technique. Good. Stop. So we have one guy pick the ball up, come and attack him, turn. Right, now we've done all that, right? The 2 blocks come in. And what I want the 2 blocks to do is I want them to take the defender out, but, hang on, but I want you to be in contact, the 2 of you, all right? So you can't be in contact there. You go through there, take that defender out, and be in contact and hold. So I think that's important. This guy then has got total control, hasn't he? He's got total control. We can latch on to that, all right? We can put 2 other guys in there and we can score from 50 metres if you're a New Zealander. If you're a South African, maybe 30 metres. Probably the other way around, isn't it, really? They're better maulers than us. And there's a number of ways of doing this, and you might think I'm talking a lot of rubbish here, but I think this will give protection to the ball carrier, okay? So we get the next guy in, all right? And let's just drive that. Just drive that, drive it, drive it, drive it, drive it. And this guy could come in and assist, You know, I could get in there too, but I can't. I'm too old. And if we can do that all around the world, we're going to drag defenders in and we're going to have more opportunity to attack off that maul. Fair enough? Agree? Good. So let's do that, fellas. There's a number of ways you can do this, and I just think we need to protect that ball carrier so the defenders can't get at him. And I think that's the best way of doing it. But you may have other ways of doing that, and it's not necessary you have to do everything the same way. I think this is part of the game that we need to bring back. Maybe you'll see it with the All Blacks this year. Who knows? So we've progressed that maul, and we'll go into something else in a minute, which will finish it. Now we're going to go to the ruck. We don't want to have these, remember? We want to keep the ball alive if we can, but I think there's two types of ruck. Two. One, when the defence is very close, and it may be off a breakdown and you've passed to the forwards and they're having a crack close to that first breakdown. So a close quarter defensive situation, and one when it's wider in the field. And I think we need to react differently to those two different rucks. And the first one I want you to do is when the ball carrier is snaked on by a support player. So the first support player to the ball carrier latches onto him and then shoves him through that tackler, but stays on his feet. What's important? That the snaker, the guy who's latching onto the ball carrier, hits his rump under here and drives him forward and stays on his feet so he can take out the defender. All right? He's no bloody good if he's over the top of the ball carrier. So he's got to get underneath. Ball carrier, he does his business. Mindset again, beats the opposition, weak shoulder, goes through, snake gives him a help. So we're going to do that. Go! Bang! Stay up! Snake up! Go! Stop! Now guys, what we want to do is look at you six guys and give some criticism. See if you're doing it properly. So this group, you ready? Have a look and tell me how they can improve. Go! We've just got that on film. You've had a good look at what they did. How could they improve that?
The snaker needs to lower his body position and get where you said.
Yeah, get right on his ass.
Yeah, anything else?
Just a bit of aggression into contact and the ball placement. Want it long, right back.
So what we've said here is that the snaker needs to lower his body position, get on the rump of the ball carrier and drive him through and stay on his feet. I thought there was another big issue. What do you reckon?
No talk, no comms.
No comms, no talk. Major problem in the game, nobody talking. I thought that the snaker got too close to the ball carrier and therefore couldn't make a decision. So I think you've got to give the ball carrier time to do his business. If you don't give him time to do his business, he is the key man. He needs that time. And you, to be effective, need to give him a metre or two so he can react correctly. So I think that's very important, coaches. And you see game after game after game where the support players are far too close to the ball carrier and it's totally ineffective. So give them some time. Okay, let's go. Ball carrier, stay up. You need to carry the ball 2 hands, eh? Good. Try and get directly behind that ball carrier. Give him some time. Go. Step him, go. Get behind him. Ball. Good. Go. You can probably see that the ball carrier is losing that mindset. So he's running into the defender. Off in here, in time we'll get that right. The ball carrier is paramount. If the ball carrier doesn't do the business, you're not going to get quick ball, you're not going to score tries. So he has to fix that defender, skin him, he might get tackled, but he's past that weak shoulder, and that'll guarantee quick ball. Have you seen that in this drill? So it's not perfect, and it's the ball carrier. I'll have another crack at him, eh? Our ball carrier is not having the right mindset. He's got to be a hell of a positive. Now, all you guys play rugby. If you can get past that shoulder of that defender, we're going to get quick ball. If you're going to run into that player, we're not. Okay, so you've just got to do the business. You run square, you run quick, you step a little bit, you aim for a shoulder, and you get past it. And you hold the ball in two hands. You with me? I'm getting pretty serious now, eh? I want you guys to win on Saturday. So let's do it once more. Better, better. You know the drill. How can we improve what we're doing there? I agree, we need to increase the intensity. What does that look like?
Speed.
More speed, more aggression. Technically, how does it look? So what do the ball carrier and the snaker have to do? So we want a good mindset from the ball carrier, so he's beating that defender, and what do we want the snaker to do?
Just get your shoulder on.
You get the shoulder on and drive them through. So we want greater intensity, ball carrier with the right mindset to beat him, all right, and that snaker on the backside driving him through so we get that quick ball. So let's make it picture perfect this time, eh? Better, well done, just that pass to get in the right position, go. Stay up, good boy. Let's go. Good boy. Good. Coaches, I think it's important in these situations. If we can get a pass in, we do that. So the first receiver might pass it to the second receiver, all right, in that situation, and clear that defender. So I'm going to ask these guys, how do we do that, and see what happens, all right? So I won't tell them what to do. We'll see how they react. But you may have seen some of the games recently in the Six Nations I've been watching, where tight forwards are having one pass on to another tight forward, and that tight forward is making a lot of mileage, and a couple of times they've scored. So the ability to catch and pass by tight forwards is becoming critical in the game. So we'll see how these guys react. Ready, go. Good. So just a little pass, there makes all the difference sometimes. We can still do that snake on the second receiver of the ball. Go. Work hard, defender, work hard, get him. Good boy. So it opens up the game, doesn't it? So those little passes are pretty critical. I've probably said that enough. I hope you got the message. Okay, let's go again. Good. Go. Good boy. So we've done two things. We've set up the maul, hipped and ripped, put those two blocks in so we can play in the field of play at the breakdown by keeping the ball up. We've looked at a second situation where the defence is pretty tight and we're snaked on. Now I want to look at a third situation where the defence is a bit wider. Not too many defenders there, but it's a bit wider, okay? So we're going to do the same drill as we did last time, just that last time, and see how we react to it. I just want you to react to the defender. If you have to clean out, you clean out. Otherwise, you use your hands. Good. Good. Now you can see they've learned, haven't they? They learned to use the ball, which is the whole emphasis of this game of ours. If you can beat the man with the ball by transferring it, you're going to score a lot of tries. Let's just change the drill a bit. So this time I want these two guys to go out together. All right? They're going to have a pass. They're going to be two defenders and see how we react. Go. That's good, guys. Like that. Good. That was very skillful. I'm very pleased with that player. He made a great decision, saw the space, used the ball, passed it through to enable to use that space. It was bloody good. Coaches and players, I think it's important. These guys have naturally done the right thing, all right? By spreading as attackers, they're putting stress on these two defenders. If they were tight, these defenders could do the business. When there's in wider channels and there's a bit of space, it's important that all of these guys are a threat. Can you come forward? Come forward. Maintain your space, but just come forward. Take your own space. So these guys are in trouble, aren't they? They've come together. Come together. Yep, that'll do. Anyway. Now they're not a threat. So I think it's important, coaches, that we coach to make sure these guys take their own space. They've got some width so they can attack through the gaps or outside of the defenders. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I'm sure you do. All right? So let's just run that through and see how we go. Go! Go. Good. So we just run through this, and I want this fellow to be tackled. Go. It's very important that these two guys on either side of him work very hard to be support players. So they need to have a big step and get him behind. He might pop the ball off. He might stand in the tackle. All right? He might need to be, the tacklers might need to be cleaned out. So these two have taken their own space. They've attracted defenders. But if he gets tackled, they need to get him behind him very quickly, give him some time to react and do the business, make good decisions. So we'll just make sure we get tackled occasionally here and see how they react. Let's go again. Good boy, well done. Exactly what I'm talking about. The guy inside him, big step, got him behind, made a good decision, cleaned out the tackler, had continuity, scored the try. All right? All Blacks up, 25-10 against England. Maybe. How you going, Martin? Good to see you. Thanks for watching this video. Coaches, this is the last progression. So it's becoming a bit more difficult. We're going to have 6 attackers versus 3 defenders. We're going to start off the maul initially, and then we'll go to the various ruck games, just to put the icing on what we've done in those simple progressions that we've done in this module. We'll have 3 defenders at the back, all right, facing, and 6 attackers here. Okay, start running. Go! Just try and make sure those blocks get in, past the ball carrier, and a lot of communication at the back of the ruck. So we're going to roll right, we're gone. So the guy at the back just comes round the edge, pops at the halfback. Okay? Just passing. Go! Good. We just want a wee bit more dynamite, eh? We're just a bit passive. So if we're passive, it's not going to happen for us. Go! As I said before, you know, when we're setting these moors up, you may have other ideas how to set that up. I believe if we can isolate that ball carrier, that's going to give us some advantages. And we need to score from these things, so we need to attack off them. So if the ball carrier is isolated, it gives him an advantage to be able to do that, and the guys off him. So I think you need to spend some time on this, and in Europe, where the weather conditions are not as great as maybe here, that's questionable, it may be a big activity that you can do, which is going to help you win games of rugby. And the kids enjoy it. Some running, keep running, go! Those two blocks have got to come in and take this fellow out of here, all right? And if they can just stay here, that's fine, and latch onto each other. That's going to give us the protection that we need, okay? And at the moment, we're not doing that. This frees this guy, and two other guys coming on either side. He's still free, and he can roll off the side of it with the halfback and do the job. But at the moment, we're all trying to do his job, and I want him isolated to do the business. How was that? You're obviously got a big future in the game. What do you reckon? Okay, let's do it. Go forward, go forward. Go! You just got to persevere. It's not going to happen overnight. Two guys grabbed hold of the ball and we just want to isolate that ball carrier. Leave him alone, all right? So just leave him with the ball so he can roll out of that situation and attack, okay? Go! Good. This is the final drill in the progression for the ruck, and I'm trying to react to what they see. So I'm in front of the defenders. They can see me. If I'm doing that, I only want the tackler in the ruck. If I'm doing that, I want two guys, the tackler and one other defender in there. And if I do that, I want them all in there. So the attackers have to react to that. And that makes them make good decisions on supporting the ball carrier. So it's an exercise that they need to work on. They won't do it perfectly first time, but it's something that gets the mind working, makes them make good decisions off the ball carrier so that we have continuity. Okay? Go! Good. Well done. All right, so we only had one tackler in there, and we cleaned and had all the attackers available. Okay? If we had three guys in that ruck, we wouldn't have the numbers to attack. So it's very important to make good decisions. Good. Well done, boys. Ready? Go. Good. let's just try and perfect it, okay? So the ball carrier, right mindset, trying to beat those defenders. If you can keep the ball alive by popping, great. If you can pass it, that's even better. If we can rip it, that's part of the deal. So you just got to make the right decisions going there. At the moment, we're all cleaning, aren't we? So the ball carrier is going to give us the option, and we have to react to the ball carrier. Okay? One defender. One. Good. Good stuff. Well done. Ball carrier, see if we can do something different, eh? 2. Give them space. Give them space. Good boy. Well done. I'm pleased with that because we're not only driving through the tackler and placing the ball, and that placement is important. We kept the ball alive on that particular occasion, which results in tries. So the only other thing that we probably haven't talked about is how the ball carrier reacts on the ground. So I want you to go to ground and then get your body around in long placement. So we're just looking at the placement of the ball. Okay, go. Good. So I think that's the other thing that we need to emphasise. If we are going to ground, the ball carrier needs to jackknife back and have long placement, and that'll give us good continuity of possession. Go. 3 tacklers in. 3 tacklers in. Good. We've finished all those progressions. Just a couple of points I think that we need to work on. If we're talking about more and we've got close quarter defence and we're snaking on, that snaker needs to stay up. All right? So he hits on the rump of the ball carrier, drives them through and stays up and takes out the defenders. You can have 2 snakers. So that's very important. If the ball is a bit wider and of wider defenders, we are taking out the tacklers. Okay? We are not worried about the ball carrier in that case. We do not snake on. We just take out the tacklers. So the first guy takes out the first tackler, the second guy takes out the second tackler, and so on. If there's only 1, we only send 1 in. If there's 2, we send 2 in. If there's 3, we send 3 in. So just need to have those progressive drills that are going to enable you to do that. Okay? Now we'll finish with a game that hopefully will incorporate all those skills that you've seen today. We're going to play a game 6 versus 6, and we're going to incorporate all those breakdown drills in there. So you just need to react to what you see. All right? Won't go very long. Good luck. Usually with a bigger group, I'll have 3 teams. So 1 team's resting and 1 team is playing against, the second team is playing against the third team. And maybe 8 in each team, which is ideal. So all the players get plenty of time on the ball, get plenty of time to be the ball carrier and use their skills, having that important mindset, and they get plenty of time to support that ball carrier, cleaning or getting that pop pass or whatever it may be. Go! Yep. 1 tackler. Make sure you get that placement right. Make sure the placement's right. Spread's great. They're attracting defenders away from the ball, but the ball carrier's mindset is still struggling. I know it's difficult, but he's got to make sure that he beats that opposite if he can, gets a weak shoulder, and gets a bloody good placement back. And that will give us easy continuity. Blue ball, 1 tackler in. Good boy, well done, well done. Good stuff. Beautiful. Good, stop. You notice that time that we've got great continuity, kept the ball alive, good long placement, good clean. They learn very quickly, which is marvellous. We'll call it a day there. I think these guys have done extremely well. They've got a big game in the weekend. I want to look after them. So thanks, fellas. Outstanding. Coaches, you would have seen quite a difference from the green team to the blue team, just on a few few hints, you know, just a few coaching tips while we change the ball over. Long placement, keeping the ball alive if possible, just getting the bodies down a bit so we've got good body position on the clean out. So that game we do in the All Blacks regularly, and it makes a big difference. So good luck with your coaching on the breakdown. As I said before, the least number of breakdowns you can have, the better you will play. But you need the skills to play there, so there's the progression of the drills to develop those skills. So have a good season again and enjoy the breakdown. Cheers.